Right, welcome back for the third time. If I figure out how to edit videos, I will stitch these together. I don't know if I can do an introduction again. This is Turkey Goblin here, the strangest name on the internet. Today we're going to open a box of Voyager. We've just unsealed it, and we've opened one pack so far and gotten Dr. Telechromore as a rare. I have gloves on today because, despite what people think, gloves are not the best thing to open packs with. Your hands that are very freshly washed, especially your fingertips, making sure the oils are removed, are the best thing to open packs with. However, as a result of opening all these packs, as you can see, I've been washing my hands way too much, and I live in the desert, so they are bone dry and they're hurting. So I could not cope with washing them one more time. So I've succumbed to the gloves that everyone else uses. Just because I don't like to get fingerprint oils on my cards, and I like to make them nice and fresh, and I cannot wash my hands. So anyways, today we're going to open Voyager and see what we can get. I always really liked Voyager. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I did not like, so in this expansion we will see the Kazon, the Hirogen, and the who is it? Vidiian, yeah, Vidiian. And those are 3 new affiliations now. I did not like the Kazon at all. I thought they looked silly. I thought they acted silly. I thought they were overly camp in their own sort of weird way. And they just were a bit silly. It was hard to believe that the Kazon were the dominant force in the Delta Quadrant. It just was not easy to believe that. They were just a copy of Klingons as well. So, but I did overall really like Voyager. I really like 7 of 9. She's my favorite, absolute favorite. Not as good as Dax, but she's really good. I like Janeway. I like the Doctor. I like Paris. So I actually really liked Voyager. I know a lot of people don't, but I just liked, it felt, I like the feel to it. I like the idea of trying to return home and the camaraderie between a crew when you're stuck together and you all have the same overarching problem of wanting to return home. You're all lost together. There was something about that made me feel close to the Voyager crew and made them feel closer together in the eyes of the viewer. And so I really liked Voyager for that reason. Escape Pod. The Kazon Collective. Let's see what these silly people do. Caesar plays on table. Your Kazon affiliation may mix with one additional affiliation, may be changed at any time, may attempt neutral missions, and is immune to assimilation. Excuse me. Once each turn, if you have a Mage in play, you may report another Kazon of the sect for free, or plays on your Kazon warship. Your Kazon personnel and ship cards, except other warships, may report aboard. No, okay, sorry. Plays on your, I think that's I do not know. Yeah, that is a Kazon. I didn't know the Kazon and Vidiian affiliation logos off the top of my head. Implication. Bioneural gel pack. May report aboard your Intrepid-class ship for free on USS Voyager, while on your Intrepid-class ship or Delta Flyer, enhances its attributes by +1, up to +3. Nadiram commanded a Vidiian cruiser, attempted to harvest organs from the US Voyager crew in 2372. Dozens like him are on the same single-minded mission. And here's our rare. Investigate quantum singularity. Investigate the unidentified transmission emanating from this Type 4 quantum singularity. You need 3 engineer or just B'Elanna. You know what I always liked about B'Elanna? Hold on here, let me take a drink here. I did take a drink before the first 2 videos, and now I'm out of something I always really liked about B'Elanna was, in the other shows, when captain asks the engineer how long it's going to take to do something. The engineer comes back and says, say, it'll take 6 hours. The captain then says, you have 2. And then we're supposed to believe that they make it happen in 2, which is kind of cool to a point. And then eventually you're just like, I think it's going to take 6 hours. Why do you even mention that it's going to take 6 hours if it's going to take 2 hours if you can do it in 2? So one of the things I really like B'Elanna is right away, Janeway asked her how long something would take. B'Elanna said how long it would take. Janeway said, you have less time, she said. B'Elanna said, it'll take 5 hours. Janeway said, you have 3. B'Elanna's like, no, actually, it will take 5 hours, just like I said. No sooner, no later. I really like that, because it just made sense to me, and added some flavor to her character and some spunk, and it just seemed like something a good engineer would say. Return life form. These are some beautiful mission cards. Let's look at these last 3 real quick here again. It's really interesting how you can look at the art of Star Trek. You can trace the improvements in CGI technology. By season 3 of TNG, it had vastly improved. If you look at stuff from the first 2 seasons, it does not look great. Let's be honest. But by season 3, stuff started getting much better. And then by the time you get to Voyager, despite their low budget, you get beautiful, beautiful nebulas like the ones we just looked at. Sethis, overseer typical of Vidiians in charge of slave labor at large facilities. Representative of females through Caucasian society, has few rights, little power, part of the Olga sect, one of several women romantically involved with Jabin. Drenel planned to ambush the USS Voyager in 2371 in a region filled with subspace vacuoles. A vengeful version of Kes from 5 years in the future tried to aid his efforts. I also really liked Kes. We have a rare, gosh, now I keep forgetting what they're called. Vidiians, right? Yes, Vidiians. These are Vidiians. Because there's Vidiians, Kazons, and Hirogen. It's a lot of new affiliations. 8 integrity, 7 cunning, 5 strength. Again, I won't pretend to know the Vidiian names. So 2 diplomacy, 1 science, 1 honor, 1 anthropology, 1 music, and you can download Dareth. Matura, Vidiian sculptor. Just gonna go back here and grab this rare out that I forgot to grab. It is very hard to maneuver cards in these gloves. Especially if you like opening the packs like I like to open them. But better than getting oils all over the cards. Revive settlers. Answer distress signal. Twisted. Cannot get past unless half of personnel and crew or away team round up, each have greater than 7 cunning. That seems like it would be pretty good. Unless half cunning greater than 7. Okay, so I think I might be misreading this. I thought, so say you had 4 personnel, I thought you would, if you would need 2 of them to have a cunning of 8 or more, but I'm not sure how that would work, considering it says round up. You wouldn't need to round up if it was just... Oh, I see. So if you had 5, I'm being silly. If you had 5 members of the away team. Okay, yeah, that then you would need to round up, right? Because if 2 had cunning of 8 and 3 had cunning less. Home Away from Home. Type 9 Shuttlecraft. The Kazon Collective. Joseph Carey. Study Internment Site. Investigate appearance of humanoid remains on the asteroid of this planet's ring system. Catalog Phenomena. Map dust clouds and other hazards in this expanse. Ayala. We have a rare federation. We might be able to guess this one. Finally. 7 Integrity, 8 Cunning, 5 Strength. That rules out B'Elanna, because she's a Klingon. That probably rules out Chakotay, because he was a Maquis soldier. So he would have a little bit higher strength. That might be Janeway. This kind of seems like Janeway's stats. Exobiology times 2, biology times 2, medical, music, computer skill, mobile holo emitter, ignoring the alternate timeline icon. So, maybe that is just the Doctor then. I should have been maybe obvious, but I thought maybe it could have been like Kess, that she was allowed to download the Doctor because she was close with him, and she has like biology skills and stuff, and medical, so I feel like that Kess wasn't a bad guess, but it is the Doctor. EMH on the USS Voyager. Years of continuous use have expanded his program to include a vast knowledge of Delta Quadrant species and a love of opera. Does anyone remember that episode where the Doctor was stuck on a planet by himself and he had a family and wife and kids? I'm not sure how that worked out, but that was an interesting episode. You know, sometimes the Doctor was really annoying, and sometimes he was just really, really great. But for the most part, I was okay with him, and some, even sometimes really liked him. 7 of 9 is the best, though. It's a shame she doesn't enter the series still. I believe it is season 3. Kazon Disruptor Rifle. Boarding Party. It's a shame some of these cards come out that way. Already damaged. Marla Gilmore. I recognize that actor. Who is that? Hop Holland. Representative of technicians serving the Vidiian sodality. Transporter Control Module. Critical Transporter Systems Component. Kazon of the Nistrum sect stole one from the USS Voyager. First Maj Jol Kalu used this new technology against his enemies, the Kazon Relora. It just gives us ship transporters. Kazon Shuttle. Pretty weak shuttle, really. Sabin. Representative of non-military Kazon. Bioneural Gel Pack. Delta Quadrant Spatial Scission. Place on table, you may have up to 2 copies of each unique Delta Quadrant personnel and ship card in play. Also, once each turn, you may place a unique Delta Quadrant personnel or ship card from your hand out of play. You have a copy of that card in play. Once per game per card title. All copies in play are attributes +2 until start of your next turn, and you may play and draw up to 2 cards. So, it looks like you can use that as a boost. You can, you have 2 7 of 9s. Sort of merge their powers and lose one of them. Paxim. Talaxian. So we have a rare Vidiian ship with quite a bit of strong stats. 9 range, 10 weapons, and 10 shields. Vidiian Cruiser. Largest starship in the Vidiian fleet. Capable of grappling onto an enemy ship, subduing it for boarding. Durnell commanded one. That's such a weird sentence, and then it just said, Durnell commanded one. These packs at the top, man, are just... It's like trying to open steel or something. Return life form. Communicate with electromagnetic life form on ship and return it to its native environment. Noah Lessing, acting science officer of the Equinox, fiercely loyal to Rudolph Ransom, demoted to crewman by Catherine Janeway when he joined the Voyager. Kazon Conference. Gives you an extra 5 for each different Maj present, which is just, I guess, a type of leader. Nanoprobe resuscitation. Plays once every turn to return the top card of your discard pile to hand. If it is a personnel card and you have any communication Borg in play, you may port it to that Borg's location. Speaking of, we have not opened any Borg. The Power plays once each turn to draw a card, or draw 2 cards and discard one of them, your choice, or draw 3 cards and discard one, opponent's choice. May not be converted to downloads. Vidiian Interceptor. The Phage, that crazy virus, plays at start of mission attempt or personnel to kill any one Vidiian present, or kills any one of your Vidiians. Place that Vidiian beneath draw deck or hand. The next emanation. Seeds or plays on table opponent's non-unique personnel, or that would say opponent's unique personnel discarded from play are placed under here instead of in discard pile. Immune to Kevin Uxbridge. Believing themselves to be bound for an afterlife, the Venori used a device to send their dead through spectral ruptures, unaware the bodies were being sent to decompose on distant asteroids. Blue alert. Caesar plays on table. Each of your Intrepid class ships and ships with no staffing requirements may use 2 range to land or take off once each turn. Also, your shuttlecraft may be carried aboard and launched from your ships that have a tractor beam. Hallock. We have a rare neutral, 5 integrity, 8 cunning, 7 strength. Got no idea. Rudolph Ransom. Accomplished exobiologist and diplomat, captain of the USS Equinox, called Rudy by his crew. Lost in Delta Quadrant, has relaxed Starfleet protocols and principles. So there is an ultra rare in this set. It is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. If anyone remembers that episode where they were in they were in like a forest brawling ring. It's in it basically every show that is sci-fi or fantasy. Every show does at least one episode of it. They've done it in Killjoys. They've done it in Angel. And they've done it in Star Trek several times. You basically get kidnapped and you wake up. They did it in Thor recently, and you're forced to fight. Dwayne was in The Rock was in that episode, and he is the ultra rare. He's got like 15 strength or something really crazy. Prevent annihilation. Prison break. That was that same episode. Locate secret alien prison facility and rescue wrongfully incarcerated crew members. Beyond the subatomic. In 2374, Kessa's mental abilities began to grow at an astonishing rate. Soon, she was able to perceive and control a new level of reality that exists in the space between subatomic particles. Yeah, they had to send her off because she was just too powerful. They had to kill her off. I guess she sort of ascended. Maria Henley, USS Intrepid. Narrate. I mean, just look how silly the Kazon look. Look at that. What is that hair? What's going on there? Yeah, I'm not sure anyone liked the Kazon. Talari. Thadin. It's funny, now that I'm going through all the cards and seeing Voyager again, I'm starting to feel like I don't like it. I'm just being reminded of the aspects I don't like so much. The adversaries, basically, is what I don't like. When they had the Borg as an adversary, episodes were fantastic. But freaking Kazon and the Vidians, no. The Hirogen, pretty good, but not the Kazon and the Vidians. Terrible. But, the show takes place enough on the ship, and enough of the episodes are self-contained on the ship, with problems on the ship, that I still really love the show. Unless 2 medical, 2 engineer, and 2 astrophysics present, ship is damaged and stopped until end of your next turn. That's really good. Let's see if I can't open this the way I prefer to open them. Nope. The Bothan vessel. Stranded ship design used by reclusive territorial race with powerful psionic abilities, possess technology which allows it to seem invisible to enemy vessels. If anyone is watching this, does anyone like that I read out the lore of the cards? Or would you rather I just went directly through the cards? Tuvok was possessed by trionic energy beings known as the Komar. The entity sought to collect neural energy from the USS Voyager crew members. Place on 1 personnel present, random selection. Now and start of each turn stops that personnel, and 1 other personnel present, random selection. Cure with 3 security. Ambush ship. Lure enemy ship to tactically advantageous space and launch an attack. Vidian scout vessel. Losaurus, typical Vidian researcher of astronomical and planetary sciences, has a cardiovascular system highly susceptible to the phage. He has had 17 heart replacement surgeries. Speaking of astronomy, I just recently went to the Low Observatory in northern Flagstaff, and it was absolutely amazing. I've been there once as a kid, but to see it again and see, can't remember what star clusters we were looking at that night, but if you've never been to an observatory, it's something you should definitely do as a sort of an astronomy / space fan / sci-fi fan. If you love Star Trek, you'll probably love going to an observatory and looking through one of the big telescopes and seeing the night sky in a really dark place, because most observatories are at dark places. For instance, Flagstaff has a very strict light pollution policy, laws, that they worked very hard to maintain, and it keeps the city very dark so that the stars are always very visible and bright. Assigned mission specialists, and we have a rare dilemma. Hanonian land deal. Unless security, science, and strength greater than 50 present, kills away team member with lowest cunning or fewest ability icons. Wow. I don't know how anyone would have strength greater than 50 unless they're late in the game. This would be a great early dilemma. Come on. I mean, it's like just impossible here. I mean, I just can't do it. There we go. Look at this. Look how bent the plastic is trying to get that top part open. I guess I gotta pull more up. I don't know why they bothered saying limited edition on all the packs after the premiere set. They never bothered to print other white bordered cards. Assist cooperative. Unseat dictator. Retrieve crewman possessed by the consciousness of a despotic ruler and restore rightful leader. You can do this with the Bajoran, the Klingon, neutral or Federation. Flash Plasma Storm. Kills each away team member who has both strength less than 6, ignoring hand weapon enhancements, and cunning less than 9. Nullified if you have thermal deflectors in play. Quarantined to a planet due to a viral illness. Janeway and Chakotay were forced to rough it. They found the sudden plasma storms on the planet as dangerous as their disease. Spatial Rift. A rupture in space connected USS Voyager with its duplicate created by a spatial scission. The two crews had to separate their Siamese ships that shared a single supply of antimatter. That's a pretty good dilemma. Blue Alert. Narata. Where are the Borg? I know there are some Borg in this set. I mean, I know most of them are combined to the actual Borg set, but I believe, let's have a look here. There should be some Borg in this set. I just would have opened straight up the Borg had I known the Borg were so rare in this set. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are no Borg in here. Just looking through my sheet here real quick. Vidiian, Kazon, Rojan. No, I'm wrong. There are no Borg. So I think what we'll do is open this last pack and then keep the rest of them for now and switch to the Borg. Because I do want to get some Borg. I'm not really interested in playing the Kazon or the Vidiians. Usually I'll play any faction or affiliation in any game. I like the variety. In Magic I play all 5 colors. Stuff like that. In Hearthstone I play all 9 classes. But I don't think I want to look at the Kazon and Vidiian faces. Fallen. We have a rare interrupt. Quinn. Thrice per game nullifies an interrupt or event just played or revealed, even in treaty, unless immune, to Kevin Uxbridge or Amanda Rogers. Member of the queue who felt a mortal life had become futile, meaningless, and unendurable, lobbied to be made mortal so he could commit suicide and upset the continuum status quo. So we've opened 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll open one more, and we're going to hope for a 7 of 9 or something more interesting than most of these interrupts and effects and Kazon and Vidiian. Kazon and Vidiian are doing a terrible job at reminding me why I love the Voyager. They're doing quite the opposite. Heal life form. Nucleogenic cloud. Provide medical aid to spaceborne life form injured by Starship. Organ thief. Seeds or plays on table. Once each turn, your Vidiian. Blah, blah, blah. Still organs. Expose plot. Exonerate crewmen framed for murder and reveal conspiracy to commit scientific espionage. Cavit. Lieutenant Commander typical of executive officers stationed on smaller Starfleet ships, posted to the USS Voyager, scornful of Maquis soldiers and sympathizers. Maquis. William Telfer. That looks like Tobey Maguire. It's not, though. Hypochondriac. Cephas. Rill. Drenal. Tac negotiation. obtain information and supplies from culture with highly ritualistic and gestural language. Korez. Darn it, we have a rare Vidian. I'm not going to pretend again to know the names. Sulan. It's chief surgeon of the Vidian sodality. Divided B'Elanna Taurus into two beings. That was a messed up episode. Alright, come on, one more. Let's get something more interesting. I think I already saw that it was not liberation. Liberate prisoner being held by Kazon sect on the surface of this desert planet. Let's skip ahead to the end real quick. Okay, we do have something interesting. Thank God. Study interstellar colony. That's embarrassing. Commandeer. Why is my brain doing that? Commandeer ship. Implication: to get past requires 3 diplomacy and greater than 30 integrity, or law and cunning greater than 30. Bioneural gel pack. Nadirum. Trap grenade. Kills one away team member who has security or leadership, unless that person has 9 cunning or more. The phage. The Vidian sodality. Nanoprobe resuscitation. And for interesting rare, we have 6 integrity, 7 cunning, and 5 strength. Now this is a rare plus, not an ultra rare, but a rare plus. So that'll definitely be one of the crew members of the Voyager. Low strength. You know, that actually might be Janeway. I feel like she doesn't have great stats. Anthropology, navigation, diplomacy. Nope, it's not, because there's no leadership. It's not B'Elanna, too low strength. It's not Chakotay, it doesn't have leader or officer. It's gotta be, Kim. No, Neelix. That makes sense. Galaxian Jack of all trades. Has served on the Tribalian freighter, mining colony, and Voyager. Serves as a cook, morale officer, guide, and sometimes ambassador. Neelix, again, was one of those either really annoying or really fantastic characters. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this part 1 of this Voyager opening, and we'll do Borg before we get back to this, because so far it's not been super interesting. Vidian and the Kazon just reminded me the bad aspects of Voyager. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.